I am officially bulletproofed. Yes, that's why my skin is glowing and I'm looking ripped and jacked. It's because every morning I take my mycotoxin-free bulletproof coffee and mix it up with MCT oil and grass-fed butter. Why, do you ask? Well, it does a lot of things. It replaces my meal for the morning, and it gets my brain all the right nutrients they need. Those oils, that fat, and then I don't eat until 1 or 2 o'clock. So it's not really just coffee. It's turning into a lifestyle.
It's interesting. We had John Ronson here, and he did The Men Who Stare at Goats, and he said I was on set for 2 days. He's like, the first day everyone was nice to me, and the second day I realized I had no place on this set because it's out of my hands. He said even the screenwriter wasn't on set. He's like, once you give it to the director.
Yeah, the direct. I mean, it's a weird thing. I mean, there's basically any film. There's kind of 3 authors of it. There's the writer. Well, 4 if it's a writer. The writer and screenwriter are different. There's the writer, the screenwriter who adapts it. There's a director, and then there's the editor. I mean, the editors are really is like the 4th writer, the 3rd or 4th writer, because they make so many decisions about how the thing looks. Because there's so much material shot.
Well, they're deciding what's going to be shown at the end of the day, I suppose.
They're deciding what's going to be used in terms of the material, but they're also deciding on the whole pace and mood of it and how it will look and how it will fit and the energy, and obviously with the director as well. But I mean, editing is such a kind of weird, mysterious process. I mean, there's no real book about how to be an editor, basically, and I think because of that, it's not a lot of people really understand it. It's just, it's all about storytelling and pacing, and so, but the editor, what I've seen in the kind of like the 4 adaptations I've been involved with my own stuff, in the other movies that I've kind of been involved with and TV stuff. It's like I've just kind of, my whole view about editors has changed. I mean, I just originally thought they were the guys that the director told them what to do, and they just conceived the director's vision, but they come to it with so many ideas as well about the story.
Wow, that's interesting. When you saw the first screening of Trainspotting, what were your thoughts, honestly?
It was, what happened was I took a lot of friends, like guys like Jeff Barrett from Heavenly Records and Paolo Hewitt, guys with Primal Scream, Andrew Innes, Bobby Gillespie, all these guys that have been really big into the book and were really into the whole, like kind of sort of London cognoscenti, sort of rock and roll guys, which apart from an audience in Scotland would be the most critical audience that it could get, and I think at first when they sort of, because everybody's got their own view of what the actors will look like, when they see these different characters visualised, they're going, no, that's not Begbie, or that's not, that's because they've got their own visualisation of it. And then about 10 minutes in, you just felt the energy in the room started to change, and everybody just bought right into this, and they were totally engrossed in it, and they came out all, it's amazing, it's like, so we just had a great kind of feel about it, it's a really sort of strong, positive kind of feeling about it, the idea that it was really going to do well.
Did you know who the actors were, the decisions? Did you know what Danny was doing in the background?
Yeah, well, I mean, I knew I knew Bobby and I knew Ewan and from the other stuff that they'd done, and I knew Ewan Bremner and Susan Fiddler from the play.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it just the casting. I mean, Danny will say this. That the biggest part of directing is casting. If you get the cast, if you get the film cast properly, it just cuts down the number of ways you can fuck up. If it's not cast properly, you're really kind of firefighting. You're trying to pull something. You're trying to make an actor believe, and you're trying to make the audience believe that this person really is this character when they don't quite believe it themselves. So you need somebody who's really completely immersed in that part and can really pull it off. And so it's such an important thing, But it had that kind of energy, and it had that. I always think that they brought that kind of visual energy, and Danny brings that kind of visual stylization to it that Shallow Grave had, and why it had the plus, the kind of add-on that I brought was basically the characters, put into that kind of scenario. And the energy in the book was just completely kind of coterminous with their energy as filmmakers. So it just really dovetailed perfectly.
Wow, that's such a special moment.